Oh, hello. How's it going? Design review time. Right, hang on, let me sort the desk out. There we go. Right. Oh dear, we are over branded today. Goodness me. Double Dansky. I've got Crumble the cat here who's gonna help me review. Hello. Do you wanna come say hello? We'll get you in. We'll get you in the shot. Come on, we're gonna do some design review. Yeah. Hey Andrea. Hey, Paul, good to see you again. Raquel, Vihanga, Benjamin, Art Graphic, hello.
You said my name.
Oh, yeah, Poppy, hi. Oh. Hey, Lena J. Your camera logo, yes. Was that the final one you did, Benjamin? Because I know you did a better looking flower, a much cooler flower. I've got it somewhere. Whether I can find it or not, though. Hang on, let me have a look. Let's have a wee gandery. Let's see if we can find it. Benjamin logo. It does depend entirely on what I filed it under. I might have called it Benjamin or Bloom, or I might have called it camera. Oh, I saw it the other day as well. If you've got it to hand, Benjamin, I would very much appreciate it. Yeah, no, the flower looked really cool. Hey, KDD. Oh, please do. Please do. I'm suffering a bit today. I've got a back injury. I've injured my back somehow, probably sleeping funny. Oh, so I'm quietly dying. Or not so quietly dying. Right. Okay, but we're going to review some design work and just ignore the pain. Right. God, I've not done one of these for a while. Well, I'll just wait a minute for some work to come in. If I was a bit more organized, I would have done this earlier, but, it's just the way it is. Yeah, I know. I have a spine condition and a bunch of metal in my back, so I get it. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I used to always get bad backs from just years of terrible posture. Just I didn't know what I was doing and how destructive I was kind of being, just sitting so badly for untold amounts of hours. And it definitely got better for like quite a while. I think that was when I started going to the gym and training my back more. You're doing lots of deadlifts, you are strengthening parts of your back. But yeah, I don't know. I think I just had a bad night's sleep last night. Slept a bit funny, woke up, got through the PT session fine this morning. Wasn't too bad, but I could feel something was off. And it's just got progressively worse as the afternoon's gone on. But hey ho.
Good job you got a beauty therapist.
Yeah, Poppy's a beauty therapist. So earlier on, before going out to Muay Thai, I just kind of like threw myself on the bed. Like, please, please rub my back. She's actually got magic hands, like legit magic hands.
I do.
Oh, uh, Rianne's going to submit her tennis graphic. This is really cool. Oh, thanks, Benjamin. Oh, excellent. Cool. When are you doing logos? Yeah, go for it, Paul. Oh, hang on, I got. Where's the link gone? I lost it. Yeah, there you go, Paul. Fire away, my friend. Oh, someone sent me a .rar file. I can't open them on Mac, Behanga. Zip is fine, but rar is a no-go. Okie dokie. Oh, I need to find the file, really. Benjamin, do you mind if I find the file? Because it shows the progression as well, which I think people will find really interesting. Hey, Polina, how you doing? Let me find it. Yeah. Come on, Dan. Engage your brain, son. What would you have done with it? I've got it. I've got it. I found it, Benjamin. Yeah, this was an interesting one. Okay. Yeah, this is cool. So, I don't know if I mentioned this in my emails, Benjamin, but you probably just caught me at like the most perfect time because I think I wasn't doing anything in particular, but I was about to go out, and then I got your email, and I just had this idea pop in my head based on what you'd said, and I just had to run with it, and yeah, it was interesting. So this is kind of the progression. So this is something Benjamin sent me for his photography business, and it was very much more illustrative. I think was my general feedback. It's more illustrative. It looks really cool. Details are great. I just love the style, mix of different line weights. You know, I'm all about that stuff. But it was more of an illustration rather than a logo. So I went through this process of trying to help by simplifying some of the shapes, because of course, if you take this and scale it down to a tiny size, what's going to happen is it gets very difficult to make out those details if you're looking at it in a website header, for example. So it's making sure that it's kind of got that scalability, and you can still kind of make out the logo. So I kind of simplified it like this, and started running it through that kind of that test, if you like. And it was just a case of kind of repeating that process and simplifying it. And then I threw in a flower for the lens, just to try and get the floral element in there. Hey, Rianne, you alright, me cinnamon bun? And then I think this one I took out the lens and made the flower into the lens, which might have gone a bit nuts. I might have gone a bit crazy with that one. I mean, I could have just sort of trying something while I'm here. Could have. Well, that's not really a flower anymore. I don't know what that is. That's nothing. But then this was Benjamin's one. So Benjamin then put in a much cooler flower, kind of like the sort of aperture interior styling of a camera lens. And yeah, as far as a mark goes, I think it looks pretty cool. But that was the progression, and I've seen this before actually as well. I've definitely had people send me work asking for my thoughts, and what they've done is beautiful, but it's more illustrative than a logo, and it just needs kind of a few little tweaks to make it a bit more practical, just to kind of cover those different yeah, no, the timing was perfect. It was, I say it was perfect because I'm normally doing like a million a month things, and there's these very small windows of opportunity where I like stop and I'm just kind of mooching or doing nothing. I'm always busying myself with something, and you caught me in one of those moments, and my brain was like, all right, yeah, let's just mock this up, let's just see if this works. But yeah, no, I had fun. I mean, I guess actually, just while we're here on this one, does anyone else have any feedback on this end result? Because this is something that I think we kind of arrived at together with the shape, the simplicity, and then we've got this floral graphic from Benjamin. But does anyone else have any input on that and the process as well? Or would you like to know more about the process? I think generally, if I were to break it down into like something that you could repeat yourself if you wanted to check, it would be first of all like simplifying the lines. Why am I using my trackpad like a peasant when I've got a stylus there? Goodness me, Dan, I always do that. I don't even like trackpads. Yeah, so it was just a case of really simplifying it. So taking out, first of all, unnecessary details. So, okay, we've got lots of these lines close together. We're going to strip them out. You know, the camera lens, we'll simplify that. We've got a lot of buttons on top, probably technically accurate. But we'll just strip a few out. We'll just have one main camera button. We don't want the details to be too close to each other. So you want to avoid this kind of stuff. You don't want that. Give it a bit more breathing space. And something else you could even try is this may or may not bother you, this kind of difference in corner radius. If it does, what you can do is just adjust the radius like so. So you get that consistent width all the way around. Yeah, so we're just stripping out details that aren't too important, but that still maintain the general idea. Do you see what I mean? And then what I like to do is for the sort of scalability test, I'll try and thicken it up. So we'll go for either a thicker weight, or we'll scale it down and see, you know, obviously when you scale it down, it doesn't really, it's all quite packed together. So then a big part of it would be just scaling everything down. Maybe we'll take out those lines there. And we're just increasing the space between the different elements. So then even at a smaller size. And then if you wanted to, we could actually, it's quite horizontal at the minute. There's nothing really wrong with that. But if you wanted to, we could just tap it in with the arrow keys on the left and right, just to make it more towards a square, I guess you could say. For reference, I made the illustration from a photograph I took of one of my vintage cameras. Nice. Hey, Gear 3. Oh, I love this, yeah. So I think to recreate that, there's a few different, I've seen this shape before, there's a few different ways you can do it. No, it's not like that, is it? Well, I suppose you could do that. We could do this, rotate, we could scale it, rotate, alter option, we'll go 360 divided by 6, copy, repeat. Something like that. Slightly different, but you get the gist. Bit more, I think a little bit more curvy. So what I would have done is make the shape a bit more curvy outwards. Got an idea. I was thinking cut the camera half, then add some sort of blitz lightning icon shaped thing, business name on the left hand side. I will have half a camera. Yeah, I suppose you could open it up. In fact, actually, the quick way to do that is to just let's just come on down. Let's use a box. Yeah, I suppose you could do that. I would be tempted to try and sneak the bee into the camera lens. Well, that would be another thing actually. Now that I'm just yeah, it's a bit tricky that one. What do you line it up with? I want to instinctively I want to tuck it in there, but yeah, I suppose you could do something like that. Or would you need to? You could do something like that, or you could make it interesting and have it on an angle. Angles can just make all sorts of things way more interesting. If you wanted to italicize the text, you could do that and then lean into it. I'm just going to skew it. If you were going with an italic font, then you could do that. But oh, I just had an idea then. What was it? Brain. Yeah, it's clever, isn't it, Raquel? My one was a bit more like, I'm going to add a daisy. I like that. That's a nice little flower. Benjamin's like, come on down, step aside. Yeah, there's a few different ways to make the flower. I'll be damned if my brain can recall it right now on stream. But yeah, usually with these kinds of shapes, there's like a trick to making them. So when you've got these repeated patterns, I'm not sure if these have got like a name, not symmetrical, but they're like repeated. You want to identify one segment, if you like. So in this case, it's the same shape. So I create the first shape and then just repeat it. I did something similar with the ChatGPT logo. It's a very interesting logo. If anyone, it took me a while, but I got it. But if anyone wants to have a crack at recreating the ChatGPT logo, if you're up for a challenge, that's a good one, because it's kind of like, where do I start with this? And in the end, I had to make some weird shape contraption thing. Once I got that right, I could then repeat it. But hey, Afif. Oh, right. Oh, you got the final one. Oh, nice. Oh my goodness, this is totally different. Oh, I like that. Okay, so this is the final design. Ah. Yeah, I like that. You got the camera lens in there. What font is that? That's smart, that is. That's really smart. I think this font here, that looks very familiar. It looks very similar to Avant-Garde, I think. The A is what gives it away. Avant-Garde, possibly, or a variant of it. There's so many sans serif ones. I don't think it's Satoshi, but Urbanist. Oh, is it? Okay, I've never heard of that. Urbanist. Yeah. Bye. Urbanist. Where did you get that one from? I need to look that up because. Oh no, it's not avant-garde. I'm thinking of something else. Oh, that is going to drive me in. No, sorry. I was thinking of Century Gothic. Oh, I don't have it. Where's Century Gothic gone? Okay, maybe that isn't on macOS anymore. Yeah, Century Gothic is 100%. That's where that A came from. But Google font. Oh, okay. Yeah, Google fonts being cheeky. Yeah, if anyone's just joined and they would like a chance for their work to be reviewed. Just to let you know, the folder is filling up. Okay, oh, that's a word, that is. Cormorant garish, or something like that. Okay. Yeah, no, that's nice. They pair really nicely, dude. Like, yeah, that's just really classy. I love that J. Freaking love that J. That is so good. It's so annoying when you get like a font you like, and then there's one character that's just there. It's just not nice at all. But that J is flipping delicious. Nice. Yeah, it looks really cool, man. I'm just scrutinizing all the details. As is the way. YouTube's saying the stream's struggling. Is it alright? Or I spent hours on font pairing. Yeah, I bet you did.
It's glitching a bit.
Is it glitching? The boys aren't watching. Are they watching TV or are they still playing Minecraft? Oh, thank you, Seb. I appreciate that. Okay, right, let's do the next one before the stream completely crashes out. Oh, I've missed this. Right, you said you'd sent JPEGs. Yeah, all right, this one is by Vihanga. Oh, we got some UI design. Well, actually, no, this is more web design. UI is more kind of interface stuff. I think that the terms do get, and I'm guilty of this as well, they do get kind of interchanged quite a lot, but web is usually just more to do with kind of websites. You know, you got banners, all sorts of other stuff like that, whereas user interface is a little bit more, how do I describe that? It's probably a better definition than I could waffle up, but yeah, user interface related stuff. No, that's an awful definition. Okay, right, let's try and get this at the right size. Oh, that's not good, is it? It's either too big or too small. Okay, well, we'll stick it this size. Sorry, it's massive for me. It's absolutely giant. Hey, no, you're welcome, Benjamin. It's a pleasure. Font pairing is tricky. Tricky makes my brain go wobbly. I love that. Yeah, it can take a while. Right, what do we got? UP Book Corner. Okay, well, this is somewhat tricky because I'm looking at it on a 30-something inch screen. And I don't think it is bigger than it would normally be, so I'm going to try and imagine it being slightly smaller, unless I can... Oh, there we go. Yeah, all right, that's probably what I would hope it would be. Right, UP Book Corner. I don't like the logo, but I don't know if that's part of it or not. The spacing between the word book and corner is a bit weird. The book is too close to the P. Yeah, I'm not going to spend too long on the logo, but right, in terms of the design itself, okay, so that's what you've done. You've got multiple pages stacked up. Right, I think we need some consistency with font sizing, you know. You've got something here that looks like more like a subtitle. If that's your main hero kind of on your homepage, that's got to be bigger. That's got to be massive. It's got to grab my attention. Why am I here? What am I doing on your site? You know, you got to sell it to me. Discover books that fit your budget without compromising on quality. Yeah, so that's got to be bigger, louder. Rianne, accessibility. We've got pink and red. I think it ain't gonna get a pass, is it? On the accessibility checker. This bit here. I I think, again, we've got too many different font sizes going on. We've got this very thin, hard to read font. We've got a giant search button, or text, I should say, the big, thick white divider. I think the inner shadow is actually in the wrong place. It's on the inside. But then there's also a drop shadow. So the whole button looks a bit strange. So let me just show you kind of how I'd probably approach this rather than just sit here and, you know, be hypercritical. So the style as well, the inner shadow, stroke, drop shadow thing. The style's quite a dated style. It looks very kind of web from the 2000s, if you know what I mean. Yeah, so I'd start with the base color, and okay. So what are we doing here? Well, we've got an input field, and we've got a button or something clickable here. So at the moment they're treated the same. That's the problem. That is the problem, right? If you want to go for that style, we've got to divide it in half. First of all. So we need to make the input field look like an input field. So I'm just going to slap in some white for now. We can figure that out later. We're going to go search. Font wise, I've got no idea what font that is, but we're going to go with Arial. Arial can surprisingly take you quite a long way. So we got search text. Now we're not going to go giant search. We're going to go for something a wee bit more sensible. Yeah, okay, right. Size-wise, a bit bolder. And I've picked Arial now, so I'm quite limited in what I can do. Font weight-wise, but that's fine. Something here. Search. By author. Title. And I think generally a bit of a doesn't fit. Oh dear. Okay, we're gonna have to lengthen this a wee bit. There we go. One bit of advice I would give when doing buttons or UI elements, things like that. Just if you're not sure why you're adding something like a stroke or a drop shadow or an inner shadow, these kind of bits that you can kind of play around with in the blending options, if each of these that you're adding doesn't serve a purpose and you don't know what that purpose is, don't do it. That would be like a very, just as a guide, don't do it. Like for example, you know, Rianne might say, oh, the accessibility between the thing and the thing's awful. So I'll be like, okay, I'm going to make it stand out. I would use a drop shadow. Dan, why are you using the drop shadow? Because I need to have contrast between the text field and the background. So there's like a purpose, you know. You can do the same with a stroke, you know. You don't want to go too thick on the stroke. I'd say 1-2 points, pixels max. But sometimes you'll see something like this. They'll go with like a gray. So if I were working on a white background, for example, let's just try and mock this up. Yeah. Having some sort of gray divider there is going to look, is going to be a lot better than doing something like this. Because, and I don't know, you know, maybe if anyone has like a color visual impairment in the chat, you know, the gray and the white here is very, very similar. Even on a cheap monitor, sometimes the colors will be very indistinguishable almost. Yeah, Rianne for the other one. Nope, it doesn't. Yeah, I didn't think so. Yeah, UI design is very different to flyers. And social media graphics is much more kind of web related. But yeah, this is just like a little bit too close. So some people genuinely with their eyesight won't be able to distinguish between Liam. I think Liam. Oh, you got your headphones in.
Hey.
I was just talking to you and you're ignoring me.
Oh, sorry.
I was just talking about color, and I think Liam said that he's not colorblind, but he can't distinguish between like blues and purples and things that are very close to each other.
That must be so annoying.
Yeah, I didn't know that until he came around and we were talking about something, and so yeah, that's it. That's all I was saying.
Oh, okay.
Carry on.
I'm not colourblind.
I know. I don't think I am. But yeah, it's the same thing with kind of white and grey as well.
Well, people are saying that the stream's lagging and
No.
still playing. They're still playing the game.
Yeah, it can't be the game. I think our internet's just being a bit crap. Our internet is a bit rubbish. Yeah, so you'd want to continue that over. But yeah, it's essentially about trying to make it look a little bit more like a text field. There's loads of different things you could do there. Yeah, do you see what I mean? It's one of those things that it just looks a bit more modern. It's been done time and time again. Unless you've got a specific reason to sort of reinvent that wheel. I wouldn't just play around with blending options willy-nilly. Like, yeah, it's got to look like a button and a text field. They're two different things. Okay, all right, let's carry on. Yeah. Okay. Alignment of the word login, nice, central, centered in the button, centered here, top and bottom. That's good. Spacing here feels a bit strange. Let's go with green. Lovely green. Yeah. So the spacing between those three is all good. I'd probably bring these two a little bit closer together. Like the spacing here is just way too tight, and that, actually no, that could go there. So just move them. Sorry, I'm trying to I don't know what to do. Yeah, just move that away from the button is what I'm trying to say. Also, this spacing here, we got to tighten that up. Just bring it all closer together. Up. Get rid of that. Yeah, the illustrations are cool. The only thing I would say with them is that they feel very... Some of them feel disconnected from each other and from the brand. So I would probably just consider having a color palette for the illustrations. Whether you were to pick somewhere between 2 and 6 colors, a little suite of colors, and then all of the illustrations use those same colors. Or even just like a main theme, and then each one has a different accent color or something. Just because at the moment the colors just feel... They would be fine as a standalone illustration, but in the context of the website, it feels like it doesn't match. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, that's a good point, Paul. I want to see a photo of the... A photo? Flipping heck, I can't speak today. A photo of the shop. And yes, good spot, Rianne. That icon, I don't think that's just a JPEG render. That icon looks like it's got some sort of opacity on it. Maybe that was dropped 20% by mistake. It looks a different color. Same feedback here. Yeah. Yeah, this is a little bit confusing. So I guess categories would click on that and choose a category, but then would it not just automatically load the category from the drop down, or would I then have to click on search as well? And usually search is something that you click on after you've entered a search query. So the word search is a bit, do you know what I mean? So even the word search there, I'd get rid of it and just have category selection, or change that to like a different word. Bestsellers of the month. Yeah, so I guess that would be pictures of the books. I think we need a bit more hierarchy here as well. Yeah, so maybe this text here could be bigger and a bit darker. This text at the moment is a lot lighter than the text down here. And do you know what I mean? I feel like it should almost be the other way around. Bestsellers of the month. I don't know how many books there are, but rather than having a micro navigation down here, I would just have a view all button. This is good having this on the homepage, so you can kind of tease a little bit of it, but I don't, you know, it's a very small, limited space we're playing with here. I just want to get it all full screen. I want to browse all of it. Let me look through the whole lot. Replace that with just a big old button and take me to a separate page where I can view and search and filter everything. Oh, it's a practice. Oh, good brief. I remember that. A practice project. Yeah. Yeah, so yeah, if it's not actually a real place, then I would get some stock photography, and you could even put the logo up on the outside of the bookstore to make it look like a real place. Or use AI to generate a bookstore to your own description. Yeah, okay, right. This is more like it. This is more like it. You see what you've done here with the contact us? That's perfect. Quick question services. Clear. Yeah, I like the spacing between these. Let's get in touch. Yeah, right. So this is the your email text. That's going to need to be a little bit more pronounced because I don't think that would pass accessibility either. But this is more like these are more like traditional fields. Do you know what I mean? And then subscribe to the newsletter. Do you know? I think what your design needs is just a little bit of a UI kit, a very small mini design system of sorts. So what I would do is I would just define no more than 6 fonts and sizes to use across the entire page. I would define your text field. I would define a button, define a drop down, and just define those different UI elements. Because then once you've defined those elements, you know exactly how buttons look, how fields look. And then you can go button here, add a button there, add a field here, add a field there. And just by having that little kind of suite of assets to pull from, you automatically get a lot more consistency across your design. Whereas I feel like on this one, you're sort of designing each bit as you go. Like, okay, I'm going to do a square button there, a rounded thing there, sort of similar but slightly different there. Do you know what I mean? And then completely different here. So one way that you can define your sizes, if you're not sure, I'll just go back to Arial. So we'll start with, let's start with, yeah. So let's go with 16. That's somewhere between 16 and 18 is usually quite good as a body size these days. So we'll go with 16. That's for like my paragraph text. And then we're going to go in here into the text field. And can I do this in here? This is one way you can use the golden ratio, funnily enough, which is kind of funny. 1.618. And it'll scale up. And then we're going to go same again. I probably should copy that. So asterisk is multiply, essentially. So we can do the math in this field. So we're going to go 1.8, multiply by the golden ratio, and we're just going to keep going up. We'll do it once more. I learned this a while ago. Clever little trick. That golden ratio, God, it gets in everywhere, doesn't it? Sneaky golden ratio. There we go. So we got 4. That's fine. 4 sizes. Yeah. So then you can call this your header. Just to keep things real simple. Go section, title. You can give these whatever names you like. And then paragraph copy. And there you go. You've got these. These are your sizes. These are your fonts. Maybe the header's a bold one. Maybe the header's in a different font. Maybe your headers are that font, and then you know what I mean? Like, so you're kind of defining all of this. You've done the design now, but I think it's just about tightening up the consistency and the treatment of it all. And I think you'll be amazed at once you kind of define. I'm not saying use this font, but once you define just a system for designing things consistently, you'll be amazed how much more consistent your work will become as a result. Yeah, so just yeah. So here, do you want it square, or do you want to go slightly rounded? Whoops. Slightly rounded on all sides, or do you want to go full round, full pill shape? Decide that up front. So if you wanted to go full pill shape, you could do that. That's your text box. You could do your button as well. Oh, where's my music gone? Yes, making libraries. Hey, Basil. Yeah, for the first time to upload my design, a digital manipulation titled The Boy in the Boat. I'd appreciate feedback. Thank you in advance. Paulina, absolutely, 100%. 100%. First time as well. Oh, should we be nice? Should we be brutal? Yeah, so you might choose to have your search bit in here. Yeah, that could be your search button inside the search field. And then you have your normal buttons. So I'm not going to do all of this, but I'm on a tiny bit of a roll. So we go button. You go. So what you might, something else you might do, you might go button primary and secondary. This is something I've got on my own site as well. So if I've got like a button that's enroll in a course, they're usually orange. That's kind of where I want someone who's on my site and thinking about taking a course, is the orange, is the bright punchy Dansky orange. That's the sort of thing that would lead them in the right direction. So if I just show you, this isn't going into a sales pitch, by the way. So up here you've got the darker one, login. That's less important, but then anything related to view courses or enrolling courses, you can see that is orange. I'm using that contrast to lead people through the site in the kind of way, the optimal journey that I would like them to take, you know. Yeah, so you might do a secondary color like that. Obviously, center everything. So you define a few different buttons and just define like a little kit that you could then use and just be consistent to it. So yeah. Okay. Hopefully that was helpful anyway. Thank you so much for sending that one in. Right. It's time to see your trailer once again. Oh, Gaurav, go on then.
Will it work?
Well, that is the question, hopefully, unless I've messed around with the Dropbox thing. Oh, let's give it a go. Do. Oh, no worries. No worries. Trailer ski. Also, thank you to everyone who's pre-ordered the Masterclass or enrolled in the Ultimate Bundle or one of the courses recently. It honestly means the world to me. Oh, Poppy's there with the link. My goodness. I feel like everyone else does a better job promoting it than I do. Goodness me. Okay.
Ski.
Hey?
Marketing ski.
Marketing ski. Oh, good. Definitely not marketing ski. Poppy ski. Like, where is the damn thing? Where are you?
With this Ultimate Course Bundle, you'll gain the skills I've mastered over 2 decades as a professional designer.
Watch that forever. I love watching that. Hey, Scott. I just sent in my ongoing project, Chess Whiz. I remember that. Oh my goodness. Yeah, there's a few bits and pieces. Okay, let me do Paulina's first, because I said I would. Where is it? Ooh. Okay. Oh, thank you very much, Eli. Good to see you again. Gets me pumped to make banging designs. Oh, it's a cool soundtrack, isn't it, Rianne? Hey, Rebecca. Oh, you're working on the course. Nice. Excellent. Yeah, Rianne, as soon as I heard that soundtrack, it was just like, that's the one. That is it. Okay. Correct me if I'm wrong, Polina. Is this the Flood 2 plugin here? Or is that the wave effect in Photoshop? No, that's got to be Flood 2, surely. I can't tell if it's Flood 2 or if it's wave with a Gaussian blur. I'm going to say wave. Filter, distort, wave. think in terms of, okay, so things that stand out to me initially, I'm going to scribble on this, so please excuse me. This bit here looks out of focus. So I think there might have been some blur added somewhere that's crept onto that part of the castle, or that was like a AI generated bit that's been generated in a sort of lower res. The waves are from the picture. Okay. Yeah, so I think that needs some sharpening, just because it looks a bit more out of focus than this bit. I love the sky and the dragon. The way the dragon is in the sky and the light kind of catches off the wing. That looks really cool. Yeah, I feel like you've set the composition up really nicely. I'm not sure what the ratio is. The ratio feels a little bit random. The sizing, what size is it? Yeah, but that's fine. Oh, it's tricky. I feel like you've got the pieces in place. But it's just composing it in a way that, like, what's the focal point here? Is it the boy holding the torch? Or is it the castle? Clouds in front of the moon. Yes, that's a good point. Yeah, we've got a lot of clouds up here, so even just one sort of cloud just kind of wisping past there, and then you could have another one over here. That's a good idea. Okay, ignoring the composition side of it, I feel like at the moment there isn't like a clear focal point. There's like a lot of empty space over here, but ignoring the composition aspect for a bit. I mean, I don't know, maybe this just needs to move over. I feel like we need to work on the lighting and the shadows. So there's a few different ways you can do this. I'm kind of working on a flat JPEG here, so bear with. I'll do what I can. So in terms of the lighting, so we're going to kind of just brush in some shadows on the underside of the boat. And even on this part of the boat. Yeah, darken that. The light's going to be here casting some shadows. You probably have, I mean, is it nighttime as well? I'm not entirely sure. And then the boy, I would probably make the light. We've got a really good opportunity to kind of have some more dramatic lighting. So we're just gonna, I'm doing this at like 1000x speed, so please don't rush this. So we would yeah, just kind of add some shadowing in, and you could add some highlights. I'm not going to actually add the highlights because they'll look crap. Trying to do it at 1000% speed. But I'll just show you what I mean. You've got a nice big flaming torch here. Nice. And then you could just go and just brush in a few highlights around some of the creases, along the jacket. Rotate that around, down the coat. Just bits where you think the light might catch, maybe on parts of the hand, parts of the fingers. And then just use a softer brush just kind of add in a bit of that spillover light. Light on the face, light on the upper side of the hand. You see what I mean? That's just me farting out in like 5 seconds, but you can spend a bit of time with that. Helps obviously if you've got it on separate layers, then you could make that fire and lighting a lot more dramatic. You could even, when you mix red, orange, and yellow as well with certain blending modes, you can make some awesome looking fire. You see the difference there just from these? Boosh. You can bring it to life so easy. I feel like with the fire here, I love how it's wrapped around the torch, but never reduce the opacity of fire. You can maybe go down to 90% if you need to, but I wouldn't do it, because fire that's like bright and burning, when you reduce the opacity, it looks crap. It doesn't look realistic as well. So yeah, I think there definitely there's a chance to kind of make that a bit more dramatic. You could have a lot of this quite dark actually in shadow, and then have the torch lighting up the buoy and part of the boat. So you'd probably see some of the orange spill over onto the boat as well. Whoops. And carefully just brush in some highlights around the boat, bits and pieces. Yeah, rule of thirds is very good. I'd probably go for a square if I'm honest with you. I know your logo's there, so excuse me while I chop it off a second, but I'd probably do that. Even that's I think a better composition. You could put the boat and the buoy in the middle. But yeah, you could then use rule of thirds to align certain bits. And the moon. Okay, we want light coming off the moon as well. Whoops. So you got like a yellowy orange moon. So we're going to go here. Adding glow is so easy. Just make a solid color adjustment layer. Set the flow to like 10. And then just brush in gradually. It's better to have it low because then you can build it up. And especially, I mean, this kind of stuff is what I like to do. You can make it super cinematic. And then if you want a blending mode to make it even more punchy, screen or linear dodge is quite good. And suddenly the moon comes alive. Do you know what I mean? I think it might be a medieval castle, yeah. I'm just wondering if we could fix that. I don't know if it's... Oh, well, there we go. We've unblurred it. I've added some sharpening. Maybe not to the whole thing, but you could sharpen a mask just the castle. And then I'd probably... Again, just darken. Certain bits. It's almost like adding a bit of a vignette, actually, darkening everything here in the foreground and putting that focus in this sort of central point. Yeah, that's going to make a big difference, just the quality of your images. That castle piece in the middle being so out of focus and being so prominent is going to really hurt the overall quality. But yeah, just look at the difference going from the before to the after. Do you see what I mean? So here we've got all the pieces, we put all the building blocks in place, but the lighting in the shadows is that next step to kind of really make this scene a lot more cinematic. And I think it just makes it, you know, if there's clearly a story being told here, and when you make it more cinematic, it just looks better. Does that help? Hopefully that's helpful. I don't want to sound like a walking sales pitch, but I do cover compositing, balancing exposure and color in my course. I'm just saying. I got to say it, at least. Fog. Oh, yes. This is perfect. This image is calling out for fog. What kind of fog, though? What color fog do we want? Well, let's just go with a simple fog. Again, the fog, you want to go for about 2% on the flow. And, okay, where will I brush it in? I'd probably brush it in the castle, because this is the bit. So I'm just brushing in fog. Yeah, the castle's the bit that's all mysterious and stuff. And I'm probably going to make the fog like a blue color, so it blends with the background. Then we can just brush in fog. Yes. You could add some clouds and mist brushes in there as well. Just brush in loads of fog. All the fog. There we go. Okay, too much. But yeah, just a little bit of fog can do wonders for obscuring things. Yeah, okay, blue fog. It looks like a medieval castle, yeah. Right. I'm a beginner and everything I received as feedback was useful. Thank you. Excellent. Fantastic. Yeah. Oh, yeah. This is why I get proper excited about this stuff. Is because particularly with this kind of stuff, to get it going from something like simple to kind of bringing a scene to life is so easy, but it's just once you know the trick to like adding the glows and the fogs and the lighting and the shadows, those things are like the secret sauce, if you like, that make just such an insane difference. Like what I love doing personally, and you've probably seen this on stream, is I'll get all my layers in a folder and then just turn it off and on at the end. And the before and after is just it's magical. Okay. Where's the light for the castle coming from? I got no idea. That's a good question, though. In fact, it's a good way of thinking as well. That's how you want to think about it, is look at every object in the scene and think, okay, how would this look? Would this be lit up? Because you're probably right. It probably wouldn't be. So then I would need to go color lookup and add a night from day and make it nighttime. And that looks weirdly good. How does that look so good? What? What the hell? Well, I think that's probably the first time I've ever just thrown on a night from day LUT and it's had such a dramatic impact. Yeah, I got carried away with the fog, Scott. Wow, that's yeah. Okay, well, wow. All right, Owen. Yeah, sometimes it is just literally there will be look at that. Come on. Sometimes it is just that one layer or that one thing that when you do it, it makes all the difference. I can't believe that. That's ridiculous. Normally, when I use that, I was doing something with it earlier, actually. You have to kind of layer it up. You can't just slap the color lookup on. But in this case, it's actually worked out very well. Yeah, normally I would like use curves or something to kind of darken everything else as well, but yeah. Paulina, let me know if you want me to send this back to you. If you want me to send the file back, send me a DM or something in the community. And just so you've got all the layers and you can see what I've done and turn them off and on. Just in case that's helpful. But yeah. Right. Let's move on. Okay, cool. I will send it back to you. Actually, no. Can you send PSDs in the community? If you can't, I'll email it. Hang on. Have I got your email? I should have somewhere. Yes. There we go. Okay, I'll just send it to you now. Don't forget. Hey, Paulina, here's the file. My desktop at the minute has got 0% free space. It's horrific. It's absolutely awful. So I'll send it to you now before it gets lost. Okay, might take a minute to send. What's Rianne cinnamon bun? I'm gonna fact check you there, Rianne. That is not a cinnamon bun.
Honestly.
Okay, right. Let's open up the chess whiz thing. Scott, you might have to talk me through this. That's an Affinity photo file. So let's open that. What do we got? SVG. JPEGs. Photoshop. Okay, Chess Whiz. So this is the mascot character. And then we've got a few different doodahs here. So I'm guessing that's the logo mark. What else have we got? Yeah. Oh, what are these ones? Can you walk me through what these ones are and where they would live? I love this. I love the chess characters. That's flipping awesome. Yeah, you got me, Rianne. Made you look. There was me just like, oh, cinnamon, but oh, tennis ball. Oh, I see. Right, okay, I got you. Let's open up the website just so we get full context. Right. I see. Love that. Right, okay. And we got that one up there. Scott, how long have you been working on this? I feel like I last saw this project a while ago now. This is a project for a chess teacher out of Canada. Yeah, they are, aren't they, Raquel? The characters are amazing. So good. Oh, right. Yeah, wow. Oh, okay. I see. Yeah, no, I love the characters. I think I've already talked through the logo and the mascot before. Yeah, I like the logo, the way you've got the knight in the S. That's so clever, and the queen in the I. These characters. Look at the face on the knight. That is adorable. Leo would absolutely love these. Leo's my eldest. Yeah, this looks. I like where. I like this one. The only thing I'm not crazy about, and I don't know if it's been a while since I played chess, but it's this bit here sticking out. That's probably a bit of a nitpick. And to be fair, I don't play chess all that often. So, what do I know? But yeah, that's the only thing that stands out to me. But maybe that is what a proper king chess piece looks like. That's that kind of bit around it. I don't know. Yeah, I like how clean it is. I love this. I don't think I've seen this bit before. I've seen the mascot and um the word sorry, the logotype, but I've not seen this bit. Yeah, I love that. I love how clean it is, central, cutouts clever. Yeah, I think the trick here is obviously being true to the chess piece and maintaining the form of a C, which is very difficult. Yeah, I mean, hang on, let me look up the chess piece. King chess piece. Okay, yeah, right. So this is the sort of. This is the sort of shape that I've got in my head. Actually, hang on. If I image trace this, I might be able to play around. Do this. Do, 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 do. Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, it's tricky, isn't it? You got to move it up, even though it's technically centered vertically, because the bottom of the king is chunkier. It looks bottom heavy if you center it correctly. So you got to shift it up a little bit to account for that. That's still your circle. I'm just going to try something else. So just an idea has just randomly popped into my little head. I don't know why I said little head. I've got a massive head. This is probably totally irrelevant. Yeah, no, I don't know why I did that. Yeah, I think that's the one thing that's throwing me off there with the C is the shape of the king. I think it's just those bits there, around the sort of waist area. If it was just smoothed out or kind of, do you know what I mean? I think that's the only thing that sort of stood out to me. Yeah, I think he's got them. Yeah, he's got some there, but I think it's just a bit more subtle. So maybe that's it. I don't know. That's my non-chess player brain. Hey Sam, how you doing? I mean, you can keep writing in chat in capital letters all you like. It's going to make it infinitely more likely that I don't review your work. Just a friendly heads up. Yeah, I don't know if that's helpful or not, Scott. Yeah. Oh, I'll catch you later, Benjamin. Use your own chess characters with the font. I just love the knight. My favorite character is the knight. The way that you've kind of sculpted the knight and its characteristics, even down the kind of the back there with the hair into the knight. That's my favorite one. I guess it makes sense to use the C, doesn't it, though, for the mark. Yeah, no, you're right. The negative space does help. I think as long as it reads as a C and it's clearly identifiable as a king, that's one of the most important aspects, I think. I'm just wondering if there's anything you could do with the letter. You know, if I were to look at that as a letter on its own, I don't think it really, it doesn't look great on its own. So what am I basing it on? Yeah, is this based on a particular font? There is a font that I can know that's very similar. Oh, what's it called? Let me see if I can remember it. I want to say Blocklin. I've got so many flipping fonts in my head. Oh yeah, well done, brain. Huh, good job. Can we chunk it up? Can we widen the king? Is that allowed? I'll like merge them together somehow. There we go. Yeah, I think it's just helped for me to kind of do it with an actual font, just so I can kind of get my head around it a little bit. Yeah, I think it's pretty much very, very similar to what you've done. I guess the only difference I can see that might be that might be worth noting is at the moment the king is a little bit off to the right. Do you see what I mean? Oh, I picked the worst color there. Hang on, let's go red. You see what I mean? So the king actually isn't central in the letter C. Because of the shape of the C, it is a very symmetrical outer shape. I feel like the king ideally would be central in some way. And another thing I've just noticed, just kind of doing this with like a real font. You see here the angle where the king, like this font here. Whoops. It's very curvy. It's got the curve here. It's got the curved corners here. But then it's got these sharp corners. And I feel like that might be standing out a bit for me. Because when I look at this one, because I was sort of using a font, it's kind of got those curves. Do you see what I mean? It sort of starts to curve in and then it goes straight. So I guess it maybe that, or we could even try and round that off. Because the shape of the letter is very rounded. The shape of the king is very rounded in a few places as well. So I can't help but wonder if introducing a bit of that roundedness just helps the king and the C letter have a bit more synergy. Do you know what I mean? Obviously, there's certain parts like the top of the... Well, actually, no, sorry. This is a completely different king, isn't it? I'd probably be tempted... Do you know what? I'd be tempted to round all of it off, actually. Just very subtly. And have no sharp edges. Possibly, I don't know. You could do the rounding very, very subtly. Do you know what I mean? Oh, the characters are vectors. Gotcha. Chunky kings are the best kings. I see what you're saying. Yeah, just the more I'm looking at it, that was something that just stood out to me. I was looking at the king initially, and I kind of noticed the what was it, the collar you said? That bit looked like it was just off to me with my non-chess brain, just kind of protruding way too much. But yeah, now I've kind of noticed those two things: the king's alignment, whether that kind of sits more centrally, which would make this area a bit less chunky, and then give this a bit more, so it might balance a bit more, like this letter C. You can see here it's all very consistent in that style. This is like a very similar style. But then yeah, just something else to consider is how the king connects to how the king essentially connects to the C. And does it have those sharp edges? Or does it kind of blend with rounder edges like the letter C itself? I'd probably lean towards the rounder ones personally. And then just, yeah, not necessarily round everything off. But, well, no, I would personally. I would round it all off, even if it was just like a little teeny tiny subtle bit of rounding. Do you know what I mean? Just because then it kind of follows the... I'm a bit funny about sometimes mixing sharp and rounded edges, unless it's done with like a deliberate intent, you know? So like the body of the chess piece would be rounded, and then you'd have like the cross at the top that is sharp. But you said something about the W as well. I don't mind it, but I think the curve on the do Canadians say Z or Z? I think Z is just British, isn't it? American Z. Canadians, are you a Zer as well? The ZZ. I feel like the curve. This is quite pixelated, the one I'm looking at, so it's hard to tell. But I feel like the curve's not as smooth as it could be. But I don't know. That might just be. Maybe it's this bit, the pixelated version. I don't know. Or maybe it's because you got this. Yeah, I don't know. It's hard to see. If it's not smooth, I would smooth it out though. Maybe it's this bit here. It just becomes a bit flat. It sort of curves around and then flattens a bit. So maybe a smoother curve. I don't know. I think one thing I will just say though, because you asked about the W. If I'm being completely honest, I think you're towing the line between over-designing the lettering. So what I mean by that is you've got the king in the C. It's cool. Okay, we've got the knights in the S's. They look flipping awesome. I mean, the queen as the I. It fits very, very seamlessly. Whereas normally, I think on other designs I've critiqued in the past, it's like, you've kind of overdone it a bit. You know, we've got icons and bits and pieces in all these different letters. I think you get away with it here because it's done, especially with the S and the I, it's done so seamlessly. I feel like maybe with the W and the Z, or the Z, might be pushing it a little bit. If it was me working on it, I would probably have a more normal, less bending to the left W, and I would probably keep the ZZs consistent. So I know this one here's got a bit of a tail. I would, if I'm being completely honest with you, Scott, yeah, personally, I'd have a normal W, a Z, and a Z that are both the same, and then let the creativity be in the other letters. And then obviously have the C as the mark. Oh, okay. Why did I think you were Canadian, Scott? Or did I? Sorry, have I mixed you up with someone else? Is it Z in Canada as well? Oh, yeah, that's another point. Raz has just brought up another point. You could use another chess piece instead of the king. So maybe, yeah, try different chess pieces. I think a lot of them generally are very similar shape, but yeah, you want something identifiable. So a king is definitely identifiable, isn't it? Although, actually, no, this probably doesn't matter. I was just going to say the king inside the C is very, very small compared to the size of the other chess pieces. I don't know if that really matters though, or if I'm just nitpicking now. Like with the I here, obviously this is like being, from a typographic point of view, this is the cap height, this line here. So should you bring the queen up to that line and then have the bit, do you know what I mean? Booping out the top does cause a problem with the E. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, maybe not. Because then the top of the queen would collide with the E and then it gets a bit more complicated. Oh, sorry, Scott. Right, the guy is a Canadian teacher. I'm with you now. Sorry. ChessWiz Logo Master. Yeah, I think that's the SVG I've got here. Yeah, Chesswiz Logo Master. Hey, Betsaleel. Yeah, cool. Oh, nice one. Well, hopefully that's helpful anyway, Scott. Me waffling on. I think we'll do a few more. And I've had quite a few people submit work, so we'll probably do another one of these maybe Wednesday, actually, just so I can get through a few more. Where's the Logo Master? Have I got that? Yeah, no, that's the only SVG I've got. Or is it this one? Hang on. Logo Showcase. Oh my goodness. Oh, that's all right, Rian. We'll do a few more. We'll do a few more. We'll get to your cinnamon bun. Yeah, okay. No, we'll jump on just because I got a lot. Right, where's the folder gone? Where's the folder? Do. Rian cinnamon bun.
Cinnamon bun.
The bun that never was.
Cinnamon bun.
Oh, you're welcome, Scott. Okay. Right. Hot Serve Tennis Club. I mean, I love this. I mean, obviously we now know this isn't a cinnamon bun, Rian. Do you have any context for what this is and what it's for? I think you might have posted in the chat, but it's escaping me. I love seeing the linear version as well, and then we've got this version here, and then the darker version. I remember seeing it mocked up on some clothing. Sorry, I'm just doing a black version. Oh yeah, I see. You've gone with a swatch. Very good. Very good. Oh, mess with your head on it. Sorry. Right. Yeah, I mean, I looked at this before, and I did struggle to find things to critique, which is annoying, because there's always something. There's got to be something. You just gotta dig far enough. I wasn't crazy about this color, if I'm honest. Now, this is obviously going to be incredibly subjective, so take it with all the salt you can. Oh, just for fun, right? Gotcha. Yeah, I don't know if that's probably not helpful, but yeah, I'm not crazy about this sort of peachy skin color. That might be a personal thing, I don't know. Maybe just straight white. And then something else would be the treatment of the dots. There's like a fade here on the lettering. Could you do the same fade on the bottom of there? Just something to consider. Might have tried it already. That I've got to scrutinize something. These little things usually annoy me, but obviously you've got a consistent stroke, so I would adjust the stroke to either accentuate that bump or to get rid of it. So I'd probably mess around with the stroke weight to either smooth it out or have it. I mean, I guess you could even actually just go straight along the bottom. Yeah, this is probably more me throwing out ideas. You've probably tried some of these already. Yeah, no, it's cool. It's really cool. I like it. I'm just sort of trying to scrutinize the details a little bit. Little kink there. Kinkity winkety there. I'm sure this is just work in progress. A few little edges, but Craig Lee Scott, I'd like to see the ball cut into the V and E slightly, maybe. Little detail, offset path. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, so maybe move the ball just up a little bit. Just so it overlaps maybe a little bit of the V and the E. Yeah, that could be quite cool. Hot Surf Tennis Club. I don't suppose you know which font this is, Rianne, do you? Tilt the ball. Yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah, the ball is just upright, isn't it? So you'd kind of want to have some sort of off. You want to throw it off a little bit to simulate some sort of movement. Paulina says, I like the retro vibe. Hey, Moosh. Moosh, nice design. I'd consider the amount of colours. Seems like a lot, especially if it ends up going to print on t-shirts. Yeah, I'm definitely drawn to this one, but I don't know if that's my personal bias for minimal colour palettes. Could be. Good to have the two versions, though. But yeah, even this one with a palette, slightly streamlined palette. Yeah, I think 3 or 4 colors maybe. I was just going to play around with the actual shape. Oh, missed doing these. We haven't done one of these for ages. Yeah, so how could you do that? I was just toying with the idea of actually positioning that there. So Craig was saying move that up so it covers a little bit of the V and the E. You could even put it over there. Yeah, you kind of want it there, so it sort of means you can kind of nestle in the word tennis club. So maybe just cover a little bit. And then that would be your flames. And if we set that off to a taper, I can now actually play around with that. I'm just trying to mess around with the actual positioning. And if I were to do that, rotate it, and then bring that up there, could I do something like this? You see what I'm going for here? Obviously, that completely buggers up the design, but just considering the position of the curve. Let's do another one. Put the ball on the path. Yeah, under there. Just trying something else. Right, let's get the tapering again. Set that stroke profile, bring it up. I'm just trying to see if I can get the design to work in a perfectly, oh, actually no. The tapering throws off the ellipse. I was trying to keep like a normal ellipse, but the tapering does kind of throw that off. Could make it a bit more. Yeah, just, I don't know, just a couple of other ways you could do it. Armature. Okay, gotcha. There's a nice font. Yeah, I do like that. It's rather tasty. The dotted pattern, that sort of half-tone style, is a swatch. So I think Rianne made the dots and then created it as a swatch. So the great thing about that is you can then apply it to anything, just like you would regular color. What if the ball kicks out the E? Kicks the E out of its place a little bit. Oh my goodness. I mean, yeah, you could do. Just have the E just like flying off over here. you could do. It might be a bit over the top. Possibly. Or if it were to cover the V and the E, maybe have them just bowing outwards a little bit to show they've been impacted by the ball in a subtle way, maybe. Oh, just use the default halftone pattern. Where did you find that, Rianne? Was that in... was it in like a swatch library? This one? Oh, yeah. Is it one of these? Yeah. Oh, yeah, loads. If you didn't know those are there, they are. Yeah, you could add flames to the ball. Yeah, I don't know if this... Hopefully this is helpful. It's... Yeah, I mean, I think it looks great, yeah. This is obviously changing a lot But I think if we ignore those, I think, yeah, I think a few people mentioned about the color palette, the ball, angle of the ball. So just adding a little bit of motion to the ball. Looks kind of cool. Maybe we can just connect that bit up as a little bit of a nice nugget just by getting the rotation right. Maybe you wouldn't want to do that. I don't know, but makes the whole thing feel a bit more dynamic with them, like it's moving. Yeah, I think maybe just the colors. If I'm honest, on the full color version, I really do like it. Obviously, I've screwed around with that there. Because what have we got in here? We've got 1, 2. Hang on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Assuming I can count. 5 colors and a fade. So maybe a 3 or a 4. Raz says, I'd align the text with the top of the ball and justify the text to the right. Justify it to the right. Oh my goodness. Oh, excuse me. Dansky, the joint of the H is angled. Yeah, it's a particular font. I think I've just downloaded it actually. I do like that. That is a rather sexy font. I'll have that. Thank you very much. Yeah, I don't know. Hopefully that's helpful, Rianne. It's kind of more of a scrutinizing the details, brain dump of ideas kind of feedback. But yeah, really, really like it. Just maybe a few things to consider.
Cinnamon buns.
Yeah, where's my cinnamon bun? Where's my bun, Rianne? Oh my goodness, excuse me. Right, I think we're gonna do one more and I'm gonna go to bed. We'll do some more. We'll do some more on Wednesday. Because this is hella fun. Gorav, you said you did some photo manipulation. What one? Which one is it? What's it called? The file. And I will whip it up. The font is Armature. Paul says, could be a shorter tail on the ball, so the left side you can have a straight line on the outline. I'll send it to you. Okay, cool. You can do that super quick because I'm falling asleep. I'm hungry. You having chicken tonight?
I'm having the chicken.
Chicken.
Chicken and the rice and the broccoli.
Oh, amazing. That's awesome, Eli. Which 2 are you going to go for? Because I've got the first class ones and then there's the 2 masterclasses that are coming out in 15th of March for Photoshop, and then the 30th of April for Illustrator. Just waiting for Gorav to send me something. Gotta get your protein.
Not right now.
Oh, it's just nice to take a break and for me to rest my mouth and just shut up for a second. It's surprisingly difficult talking for like hours on end. Oh, the bundle. Oh, amazing. Yeah, Eli, let me know if you've got any questions. My email's hello@dansky.com if you do have any questions about it. Or if you do, just go for it. Like I say to everyone, you know, when you enroll in a course, you're basically getting support from me as well. So, you know, if you get stuck with anything, got questions about design, the apps, if you've got questions about After Effects or Premiere Pro or YouTube or anything, like I always say, I'm an open book. So just, you know, fire them on over to me. I'm making a saag paneer curry. Oh, that sounds nice, doesn't it? I want a curry. Rianne's having a curry.
Curry.
Yeah, she's got a saag paneer curry. I don't even know what a saag paneer curry is.
I was like, cool.
Yeah, yeah. Korma's good, yeah. Rianne, can we get the korma, please, for 2? I'll have some pilau rice, naan bread. Yeah, I know we've not really spoken about food today, have we? Just buns.
I need to eat something before I go to work.
Oh yeah, wait, what time are you working?
An hour.
Wait, so you're not going to want to eat. When are you back from work? So I'm going to have to sit here and starve until you come home.
Yes.
No! Oh, I thought you were cooking it from scratch. Deliveroo. Oh no, sorry, wait, I'm not Deliveroo. Oh, well, could you please just be Deliveroo? Just for a moment. Okay, what's the file name, Gorav? Hang on. Oh, there we go. I got you. Ooh. Okie dokie. Oh, Paulina, you got the PSD file. Excellent. Right, let me just open this one up. Nice. Ha, that's so cool. The calling. So what's this for? What's the context? What are we looking at, Gorav? Paulina, sorry, Paulina. I'm hungry. Oh, right, you are cooking it. Okay. My PSD got corrupted. Oh, no. Oh, I've had that before. It's the worst. That's why I have all my PSD files in Dropbox now. So everything is just constantly backed up. Yeah, I love the colors in this. And that's like a piece of a wall and a door, but the door is sort of... It doesn't look broken, but it looks like part of the door has been sawn away or something. Okay, right. Let's try and be useful, Dan. So, same thing. Use higher res imagery. When you get higher res imagery, you don't get all this pixelation and artifacting. Honestly, it will make your work look so much better just by using good quality stock. You just want to avoid pixelation as much as possible. Instead of scaling a door up, making it bigger, get a higher quality door or wall or whatever. I promise you it will make a difference. Shadows down here. So yeah, we kind of need to balance a little bit of cutout issues around here. So I'll just maybe tidy that up. Just get like a smooth cutout. And then we want to have some contact shadows as well. So contact shadows are the shadows that quite literally between something like a person or an object and the surface that they're on. So they're the shadows that are cast by that contact, hence the name, contact shadows. So you want to add some in there. I'll try and fudge that in a minute just so you can see what I'm waffling on about. This angle thing, oh, excuse white. I don't know what this is here. It's kind of like a weird border around the edge and it tapers off. Just get rid of it. It's a weird thing that doesn't need to be there. Or make it bigger and make it like a part of the thing, so that you are, that this is like a thing that you're looking at. But at the moment, it's like this slither along the edge, and it just makes the edge look a bit weird. Do you know what I mean? It's not really doing anything. So I'd either make it do something and make it part of the feature, or just get rid of it and run it to the edge. This, if you want to have this so it's like parts of the door have been blown away, like what's happened to the door, you want to add some splinters. Have I got it? What's that show called? Stranger Things. Forest Clock. Yeah, I'm just gonna show you something. It's totally different, and it was from, if anyone's seen the last season of Stranger Things, they had that weird obsession with clocks. I think there was anyway, clocks and ticking or something. And I did a photo manipulation, and when I added the splinters, I like embedded a clock in a tree, and when I added the splinters from the wood shattering, it made everything more impactful. And that just popped into my head. So if I go into this, sorry to steal your moment for a second, but yeah, so there's a clock embedded in a tree, and you can see there I actually added some splinters, lots and lots of splinters. So I think it was just one individual cluster of splintered wood cut out properly. Do a good job on that one, because then you copy and paste it all the way down the sides and it quite literally embeds it. I forgot I never even posted this anywhere. I didn't even do anything with this. It just sat on my computer, but it makes it look like properly embedded. So the reason that I mentioned that was because rather than sort of cutting around this and making it look almost like almost like plastic, I would add splintered wood, just with bits of it coming off and being pulled into space. And do you know what I mean? Yeah. And I think just, yeah, I mean, you might even be able to find a broken splintered door or something like that, like just a door that's completely just been obliterated. You want to grab that, cut out the edge, and then just use that sort of rough, splintered, fragmented edge, and have that there and there as well. Yeah, I think this bit here as well, this has got lots of blur on it, but the edge doesn't have the blur. So if you want the motion blur of the asteroids and things moving, the edge has to be blurred as well, rather than just the surface.
Yeah.
Is he after his food?
He always wants food.
He's a bottomless pit, that kid. Oh yeah, love that sort of swirl vortex thing. And the lighting on the subject looks really cool. So I think creatively, it's just amazing. I mean, there's part of me that's like, could we just center the person? They're almost in the center, but they're slightly off. Could we just pop them in the center just a little bit? But yeah, I think creatively, tonally, in terms of color, I think it's just all it is time. It's time and the right retouching techniques to make everything just look more realistic. So think about it in terms of a real scene. Okay, what's happening? Well, this wall's been blown off. Okay, how did it get blown off? if it was blown off by some sort of force, what would the wood look like when it's splintered? Think about it like a real scene, and then that will inform how you create things. And like, okay, what do I need? I've got to splinter that wood. Do you know what I mean? Also here, the highlight wouldn't necessarily hit the edge like that. You'd probably get some spillover. So the light would probably be just coming over all here. Just throw some. I mean, this is how good I like this fog stuff. Is just amazing. Look, oh yeah, just add some foggy atmosphere. There we go. La 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 la. You really can be very cavalier with that approach. But then the shadows as well. So we're going to go in super dark, and you might find that the subject is also a bit light. If we just do like a quick comparison, this is where you balance the exposure between the two images. So yeah, if you go black and white, it makes it a lot easier to do this. You want to look at the darkest parts of the spaceman, which is clearly going to be there. We'll do a little sample, and we'll take the darkest part of the other bit, which is probably maybe there. And you want to balance these. Now look at these. You see these are different? The darkest part of the spaceman dude and the darkest part of the scene he's in. Essentially the shadows, they're not balanced. And this is something I cover in my first Photoshop course. There's a module on compositing. It's balancing the exposure, and then you balance the colors. Fundamental thing you must do at the beginning. So you want to make sure that the shadows, the midtones, and the highlights between the different images, they match. That's like a really good starting point. So in this case, the spaceman dude, he's a bit lighter. So you'd want to darken down his shadows. You could do that with like a levels adjustment layer and just bring the shadows down a bit and darken that. And then if you sample again the darkest part from that image and the darkest from that image, you put them together, they should be more or less very, very similar. That's just one way that you can do it. And the reason I say do that first is because if I were to go and add the shadows in now, the shadows are going to end up being too dark. But yeah, so you'd add in, that's obviously way too, the contact shadows would be on the surface. So they would be hugging the shoes very, very closely. This will obviously look terrible because I'm doing it on a JPEG. And then you'd have the softer shadows coming away from the shoe. So just, you can see the difference, even with me doing it terribly. You know, it just... So the contact shadows are the ones right by the shoe. They're going to be really, really dark, very not that blurry. And then you'll have the softer shadows as you get further away. And what that does is it just grounds someone in the scene a bit more. Yeah, so if I just dial it down a bit. Yeah, look at that. You see the difference before. And I just rushed that real quick. So it makes a massive difference. Oh, so hopefully that was helpful anyway. If in doubt, add some fog here. Cinnamon bun. I know, we'll just stick a cinnamon bun somewhere. A little floating bun. I mean, if this was my thing, I would actually put one around. I'd have a little bun, a little cinnamon bun, all the way out here, just floating off into the vortex in the distance, going. No. Oh my god, it actually looks like a mouth, doesn't it? Oh dear, you know when you've peaked and it's time to go. What is the true definition of design? Oh my goodness. Asking the loaded questions right when I'm leaving. I couldn't possibly answer that. What is the true definition of design? I think you need to unpack the question rather than copying and pasting it over and over again. What do you mean by that? what is the true definition of design? Are we looking for a dictionary definition or a specific? Are you asking me the purpose of design? Because my brain is not equipped to answer that kind of question. Oh, amazing, guys. Wow, this has been an absolute blast. We'll do it again later this week, I think. I've got some other designs people have submitted. If I didn't get to yours today, I will try and get to it. I'll get to as many as I can on Wednesday as well. But yeah, ask ChatGPT, please. It's too much for me right now. I need my chicken, all right? And my cinnamon bun. Oh, we should probably do the trailer again, shouldn't we?
Yeah.
It's all right. I'll get the link, Poppy. I'll get the link. Yeah, so if you are interested in checking out, the Photoshop stuff, I should probably actually do myself justice and call this out. A lot of the compositing stuff that I've covered today, there is an entire module that covers the fundamentals, balancing exposure, colors, highlights and shadows, that stuff that is just fundamental that I did wrong for years and years and years. And it's so easy once you know it. That's covered in the Photoshop course that's up now, first class. So, I would, if you like doing this stuff, I would definitely recommend checking it out. But yeah, cool. Thank you guys, and I will play the trailer once more. Oh, have a good day.
With this ultimate course bundle, you'll gain the skills I've mastered over 2 decades as a professional designer.